Welcome back to Cold Opal. We're going to tackle a boulder opal that we worked on in the previous video to get ourselves a rub. And the plan is to see if we can slab this a little bit, just taking off slices so that we'll preserve more of the opal. We could just polish this one as it is, but I think there's enough good stuff and stuff that is better inside that we want to try to get at a little bit of that, the higher quality material. So we're going to be using the cutoff wheel, the diamond cutoff wheel. This is not an ideal way to do this. This would be suited more for a real slabbing machine, a rock saw, stuff like that. But we don't have that, so we're just going to try to go ahead and do it with the flex shaft. It could be problematic. We'll find out, and stick around to see what happens. Okay, so as we were slabbing this, we noticed that it was pretty difficult, and we haven't changed out our diamond cutting disc, which we had cut enough boulder and chunks off of boulder opal, which is pretty hard on this, those diamond cutting discs, that we could have gone ahead and given ourselves a new disc. That was issue number one. We should have used a fresh new disc. Issue number two, we weren't very good with our cutting as far as the getting that slice off of there. It's kind of difficult to do this and trying to maintain the camera angles that you're trying to get and hold things so that the camera can see it. It makes it a little bit more difficult. I probably should have just tried to do this off camera. Maybe that will be the goal next time. And I probably put a little bit of pressure on the side where the smaller side that I was trying to slab off. I probably put a little bit too much pressure on there, and the material is very brittle, and it's cold out here. Maybe not everybody's problem, but it's not going to help this material being as brittle as it is and being as cold as it is out here. It can't be giving us any positives in that regard. But it wasn't a complete disaster. So, like so many things with opal, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news. The bad news was that we didn't get a nice clean slab when we cut it off of there. We had planned to do 2 cuts and just slab it out like that. After doing the first one, we didn't decide to do a second one, but not because of where we were worried about having chips come off again. More so that we were pleased enough with what we uncovered on the main part of the stone, which remained, in good condition. And I touched it up on the wheel a little bit to just make it even with the rest of the face, the part that kind of snipped off on the end. So in the end, what we have are 2 smaller pieces that we originally had tried to slab off, and we have the main piece still. So what we'll go ahead and do is polish up the main piece. Go ahead and I think I can make those 2 smaller pieces into a pair. It's not going to be the most glamorous pair, but I think, even with the form that they're going to have to take, which will be a little bit more rough than maybe some people would prefer, but for this material, I think it's going to look good. And once they're polished up, maybe we'll be able to get a pair out of them. They both have parts of the stone where it's giving nice color, so yeah, this is not turning out so bad so far, considering where we were at initially with the cutting. So I'm going to put the cutting up front here and we'll go from there. I've had a chance to look at the stones. The main stone is 7.5 carats, a little bit over. It's got some nice play of color in it, and it is kind of got that fossilized wood going on. So this was likely like the core of a tree, which we didn't think that we were going to have that going on in this edge of the nodule when we first started cutting that piece. There would have been no way to tell. But that's what we found inside there. Those ring patterns, and there's just gemmy opal inside there. So this one definitely, outdid our expectations here. It's got color flashing on 3 of the faces. The 2 main faces have nice color flashing through. And then on the one side, it's got really bright color flashing through. So this is a pretty versatile stone, and I'm very pleased with the results. It's just gorgeous. I don't even think I'm going to be able to do it justice because I don't use a lighting array. I'm just using a shop light to try to light this opal. But if I could get this in the sun, you'd really be able to see it then. The earrings, the pair, ended up being like, one of them was 1.2 carats, the other one was like 1.4 carat. Those are fairly nice as well. They've got a lot of nice flashes in them, and I think we'll be able to just mount those on some studs, and those will be a nice set for somebody to enjoy. So overall, I think I'm very pleased with the decision making, even though it seemed like we were getting pretty dicey there with the initial cutting. I think it was the right thing to do because it exposed the good parts of the main stone, and we were left with something salvageable instead of just grinding all that material away. Now, how much that pays off for, we'll not maybe know until these things are sold or whatever, but at least something is better than nothing as far as that goes. There's no sense to put that grind it into dust just to grind it into dust, I guess. So yeah, I'm happy with the results, and I'm glad I was able to show these to you guys, and hope everybody enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.